Jokes and speed in perfect union. Racing hearts and racing cars, they are the brightest stars. Keep it flat out, yeah. Keep it grim, keep it real. Oh, oh, you know what to do. Keep it.
Lights out and let's go racing, folks, and it's a very even start from the entire field.
There's a freight train forming behind him right now. He will be as nervous as a cat in a room full of rocking chairs. I can give you the hot tip. Sideways as a bishop on a chessboard. That was incredible car control.
Going for a bit of an ambitious dive now, and oh, there's contact! Here they come now, around the final turn on the final lap, they're side by side!
Oh, and there's contact now. Someone is going to be hitting the showers early tonight, I'll tell you what.
Crosses the line for P1, brilliant racing, absolutely sensational stuff.
This is heart pounding. This is nerves rising. This is Simsational TV.
Tonight, the Wednesday Cup turns the volume up for round 2, and we're heading to Germany's Oschersleben in its full long circuit configuration. This layout stretches the lap, stretches the nerves, and exposes every weakness. More corners, longer sequences, and absolutely nowhere to hide. It all kicks off with the fast confidence testing sweep into turn 1. before the brutal braking zone of turn 2, where bravery meets reality. From there, the long layout strings together relentless direction changes, tight lefts into flowing rights, corners that open, corners that snap shut, and exits that punish even the slightest throttle mistake. The extended middle sector is all about rhythm. Long loaded corners that ask drivers to commit and hold it there, lap after lap. While the car dances on the edge of grip, get gritty once, and you'll feel it for the next 5 turns. The final sector doesn't let you breathe either. A fast, technical run back toward the line where momentum is king and overdriving is fatal. In the Gemini hill climb cubes, this place becomes a proper knife fight. Lightweight cars, minimal power, maximum precision. This is flow racing at full intensity. This is Wednesday Cup Round 2. This is Oschersleben, and it's all going off live on Simsational TV.
Hoo-yah! Look out, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of Simsational TV, brought to you by the man, myth, the legend himself, Peter Clark and Zach O'Reilly. Myself in the commentary box tonight. Great to have you with us, and it's going to be an absolute rip snorter here tonight. This is going to be fantabulous. Thank you for being here, and welcome to round 2 of the championship. It's all on like Donkey Kong here, and this is where we are at, ladies and gentlemen. We are at Oschersleben in round 2 of the championship standings. The qualifying session of 8 minutes is coming our way, followed by a 15-minute race 1, with the results from qualifying in race 1 there coming through to form the grid. Race 2 is a 16-minute with a top 8 reverse grid, and then race 3 is 17 minutes with a top 12 reverse. The fastest in the practice sessions was one Ben Hines, and I'm telling you, that man is pretty quick and he's on the charge tonight. But the Oschersleben circuit is punished today. 39 degrees track temperature, 28 degrees outside, 14 turns, and a length of 3.6 kilometers, Pete. And this one is going to be absolutely brutal here on these tyres. And for the championship, it's starting to heat up in those standings departments.
It really is. It's only been 1 round, and the top 6 not even separated by 10 points. You got Ben Hines currently leading the way ahead of the reigning champion Fabian Fitness by only a singular point. With Fabian Fitness, he also claimed the first race win of the season last time around. John Ustrup is in 3rd. He's only 3 points behind. Tommy Corks a further 8 points behind. And Brendan Hack 9 points on level playing field as well, with Jake Buttigieg 132 points apiece, and they find themselves in P5 and P6. Jason McFadden, one of the title charges from last season, down in 7th position. Wasn't a great first time around in these Geminis, but still finds himself in a handsome 7th position, 119 points scored, 22 away from the lead. Andrew Ferguson also only a singular point back further in 8th position. Hayden Cook in 9th, 26 points further behind. And rounding out your top 10 is Colton Atkins on 113 points, 28 points off the lead.
Yeah, he's done a great job there as the big man himself, so that's going to be good anticipation for tonight here. I'm looking forward to it. That is the practice session done. And it is Tommy Corks, who is top of the timing tower there for this one. The man who has got the biggest, shiniest, driftiest livery out on the circuit. But that means nothing in the grand scheme of things, because it means qualifying is about to come up here. And I reckon we can start getting into that in just a hot second here. Get your predictions in the chat. Good to have you with us all tonight there as well, ladies and gentlemen, out there in YouTube land. But we know what that means right now. When you start to get comfortable and the boys start drifting around, it means wacko. Qualifying is on like Donkey Kong here. Who's going to get the whole shot and who's going to start their way out into the front of the grid? They're waiting for the next 50 seconds to come their way before that 8-minute mark forms up and gets themselves going. That is not the man we want to see. Keen Lawson's still in the pits. Let's have a quick look and see who's out there at the moment, who's getting formed up. That would be Kobe Bryant there, as we like to say, or Martin Bryant. I reckon one of these guys is going to be up the front. In fact, it's Colton Atkins who has started at the front of this one, waiting so preciously there, Pete, for that 25-second marker to count down so he can get himself out there for the 8-minute qualifying session.
Yeah, 8 minutes is not a lot of time around here. It's only going to give you a couple of attempts at a lap. But crucially, you'll see here, Colton, he's at the front of the queue. That's exactly where you want to be around a circuit like this. It's got fast flowing corners, very tight corners as well. So it's not really a circuit you want to have a car in front of you, because it won't take much for you to close that gap and in the end just slow yourself down. So at the front is definitely going to be prime positioning, as now the green flag has dropped here in qualifying. 8 minutes on the clock to try and set an absolute belter.
Yeah, they're out there now. So this is where it gets a bit nerve-wracking. We see it every week, and I'm telling you, none of these guys here ever stop getting nervous in the racing department. They are full ready and waiting for the action to start. And it's Colton Atkins with a beautiful, beautiful little bit of clean air, clean track in front of him as he commands this one out in front. And then behind him is the head of the cheese board, Tom Marzal, is coming through. So he is now getting himself prepped as well. The Thomas the Tank Engine livery too. Some crackers out there as we go through. Our championship leader, Benny Hines, comes out in third. So he will be flying through. Hopefully Tom doesn't hold him up too quickly at the same time. He can get past him here on the outlap. Look at Fabian Fitness though, just going for a little bit of a send there early on in this qualifying outlap, mind you. And he's just warming up those tyres, getting himself in. Bit of a tank slapper there from Fabian too. So a little bit dancy, a little bit nervous there for the big man tonight. But it's going to be one man on this circuit who's going to take charge. And who could take the first blood is the biggest question of the evening. We'll find out very, very shortly. Let's have a look at this man. Captain Kirk injects himself into the championship too. And look at the weaving there, Pete. They are dead set warming these tyres up here at the moment.
Yeah, there's a very little window that they have to get these tyres into. These cars only weigh 810 kilos, so there is not a lot of weight on those tyres to help them start getting some tyre temperature, so that's going to be crucial on this outlap. These cars, if you're not aware, make about 294 wheel horsepower and have a top speed of about 220 kilometers an hour, and around here, that is wicked pace. And we're going to get our first laps now underway with Colton Atkins. He was first to leave the lane, first to set down a lap time, and you can see the tyres still screaming full grip and getting the rear end all out sideways on the exit there of the corner as he now heads down into this is turn 3. It's a corner that you think is coming to an end, but it just keeps on going. It's so deceiving, as is just every one of these corners. This is now another really tricky one because you can send it in really deep, but these corners all start to slowly get tighter, and then out of nowhere it just flicks it back to the right just to throw you off and keep you on your toes, and that is turn 7 just there.
Yeah, good stuff here through the chicane that Atkins goes, just clips the inside barrier, pulls it up there. It's full commitment through there. Don't go too wide onto the grass because that will kill you, and that's exactly what's happened there to Colton here. Hopefully doesn't get a track cut for that with track limits, but it's a back straightaway where you turn to hero to zero right, quick smart here, because you've got to dive it into the right and then flick it left, hang it out to the right and flick it left in, and then follow that track right around here. And boy oh boy, is this man just driving the tits off this thing at the moment. Final 2 corners coming his way. A deceiving one here out of that corner, and straight back into it he goes. Good stuff there from the big man, but now it is on like Donkey Kong. He's going to set the fastest lap here to set the benchmark for this session. If it wasn't a cut, it isn't. 29.916. Fair way off those 28 so far, but it's already 5 minutes left to go, and Fabian Fitness has set the benchmark here early. 29.2 for him on his opener. Now he's going to be thinking about which way he can go in the grand scheme of things, but Tommy Corks has just said bang with a 28 straight away as the controller man into it. Johnny Astrop's done the same thing too there in second, so he is well on truly on song here as well, and Matt Munro pops in behind in third. This is heating up already.
It is absolutely heating up. The times are tumbling, and expect them to keep tumbling further as these cars get into their little window that they need to get done, and the drivers start to reconfigure themselves. Even though they were just finishing practice a short while ago, that quick stop into the lane and now having to reset with cold tires, it can take a couple of laps to just kind of get your bearings back again. So expect it in 2 to 3 lap times time. We're going to probably expect to see the time that could end up securing a pole position, but 28.7 didn't take long to get into those 28s, did it?
No, it didn't at all. It was right there and on song. It was just ridiculous. And I'm telling you, it is full ready to go. Here, Lee Crowther, the Birdman, he's setting his second lap here now. So he's coming through the first section of this track here. We're about the other side of the sector 2 is we're about to come halfway through it for him. And he's just starting to get himself up into it and with grips. This is good stuff from the big man. He needs to do it. There is a car off in the Bunda. That would be, I think that was the Birdman as well getting out there. No, that was his other other compatriot in. That was, I think that was Lawson, I'm pretty sure. But that man has gone second place. 6.73 in the 28s for Benny Hines now. Only a tenth and a half away there from Colton Atkins, who set the pole lap here straight away again. So he is flying around here, is Colton. Tommy Corks is still circulating around there, not setting the time of terror light so far on this lap. But here comes Matt Munro. A very, very tidy lap there himself. Pips Benny Hines by about 300ths of a second here with under 3 minutes to go in this qualifying session. Oh, geez, this is happening now. It's all going off here like chops. Look at the timing tower. The Birdman's come into the top 10 with a 7th place, 29.13 for him. Brendan Hack there in 8th place has done a very good job early on in this session, but still a long way off the pace. 0.6 of a second is his gap at this stage. But look out. You can see how these boyos are going. Matt Munro's just about to start another one here, Pete. So he will be hot, ready to go with those final minutes here. Under 2.5 to go. It's going to be a good one here for Matt Munro. Good opportunity.
Yeah, he's even come into the lane to strap on a brand new set of tyres, so he's going to have to really try and get these tyres into that window I've been preaching about so far in this qualifying session. So realistically, by the time he gets around and back to the start-finish line, he'll probably only have 1, maybe 2 laps if he's really lucky, but he is on a slow lap, so it's most likely just going to be the 1 lap he'll have to try and claim a pole position. Here's your reigning champion, Fabian Fitness, from the TVRs, now in a Gemini, and he currently is down in 10th position. Is this lap going to be able to jump him up any further? He's 0.7 of a second away from the fastest lap time, and the answer is no. He is still down in that 10th position. This is a little bit out of character for Fabian here.
Oh, look at him. He's just yeeted it off. He's had enough. He's just going to reset and go once more, I think. But look at Johnny Astrop. Our man has come through. He was up there, our debutant from last season. 100% ready to go, flogging it through this field, and he's put himself up into 4th place. He will not have enough time to get around for 1 more lap, so that's Johnny's session done. Atkins has pulled it into the pits and said, catch me, boys. Matt Munro hasn't been able to, so his outlap here is about to start with a perfect timing sector of 1:13 by the time he crosses the start-finish line left in this session. So this is Matt Munro's opportunity right now to get himself up into the prime position of P1 to start. He's not off on a good string, but Benny Hines is really close to him as well. So see what Benny's doing. He's not up at all. He's no greens, no purples, nothing. He's as grey there at the moment. So has he got enough time just to get around to before the timing tower kicks over to 0 for his final lap of the race, session? I think he's just done it perfectly here, but it's green in the sector 2. So he set a personal best now. This could be the difference at the moment to give Matt Munro the bit of a shakes and the shivers. See what he can do, though. This is going to be good. And this is Benny Hines' prime opportunity. He'll have 26 seconds by the time he crosses the start-finish line to do his final lap. What's Matt Munro looking like here at the moment here, Pete? He's green microsectors in sector 1, but improvement still could be humming for sector 2.
Yeah, he's got green microsectors, but it didn't go green overall for the first sector. I was just taking note when he was crossing the start-finish line to start this one. He had a good pocket of air in front of him, and the traffic in front of him looks like is going to get out of the way for him as well. So he did catch up to that traffic, and thankfully getting out of the way to not hinder his lap here. But it looks like getting very close to using a bit of the grass there, and it's a green middle sector, so this is looking very good. Colton Atkins is currently on the provisional pole position with a 28.4. It's only a 10th that Munro here needs to find. He's got the run now to the start-finish line. It's all about timing those shifts absolutely perfectly. Can he get it done? No, he can't. There was no improvement on that one time around. Ben Hines, what can he do? He was only a fraction of a second, not even behind Matt Munro, who is currently in P2. At the moment, it was a grey first sector, only 1 green microsector in the middle one. So is this going to be even a improvement?
No, I don't think it is here for Benny Hines. What's Johnny Astrop doing? He set a green in a purple sector 1, sorry. So he is now on charge. Can he get this lap hooked up and put together as well? This could be interesting to see from the big man. He's driving the wheels off this thing. Sector 2's got a couple of micros there as well. Could Colton Atkins be under threat here in qualifying from John Astrop to take the P1 off him? He'll exit in now to sector 2. It's a personal best again, so he's up here. He's up in 2 sectors out of 3. This is Meatloaf style, 2 out of 3 ain't bad, but can he be the perfectionist here in the dying moments of qualifying? It's checkered flag time. There's no more laps to do. Half the field, 3/4 of the field has finished their lap. John Astrop's time this to absolute perfection here. Oh, just a bit of a wiggle there on the exit of the final turn as he comes across the line. Is it going to be an improvement for him? It is, but not enough. Second place just pips Matt Munro and Benny Hines as well, and that is a very, very tight top 5 indeed. Colton Atkins takes P1 early in this session. First race, he'll start off the front of the grid. Johnny Astrops gets second. Matt Munro got third. Tommy Corks is circulating around the field here, drifting his way as he normally does for third. Jake Buttigieg gets fourth, and that is a session that we will be frothing for the next one coming up, ladies and gentlemen. Boy, oh boy, in the fair dinkum department, this could be interesting. Strap yourselves in and get yourselves ready, because race 1 is not too far away here at Simsational TV. We will be back here for race 1, starting in just a hot second from a moment of our sponsors in the word department.
Motorsport isn't just a hobby. It's what matters. You need gear you can trust. That's where ARD Importing comes in. ARD Importing brings world-class racing brands straight to New Zealand, supplying real racers, real teams, and real enthusiasts with proven performance products around the globe. We're talking JRP racing components, ZAMP helmets, and safety gear you can rely on the track. Red Cat Racing for high-performance RC action, and intimate brake pads for serious stopping power when it counts most. Keep your engine protected with renewable lubricants, premium oils designed for extreme performance and durability. Turn up the volume with wicked audio, delivering powerful sound whenever the road or track takes you. And gear up with Spartan products built for durability, comfort, and race day durability. Whether you're racing dirt, asphalt, or chasing lap times from home, ARD Importing has you covered. Sim racers as well, listen up, ladies and gentlemen, because ARD New Zealand is your importing source for all of Camus Racing sim gear. Precision wheels, professional grade pedals, immersive feedback that puts you right in the driver's seat. Train harder, race smarter, and feel every corner. From real-world racing to the virtual grid, ardimporting.co.New Zealand connects you with elite brands trusted by racers worldwide. Motorsport isn't just a hobby, it's a lifestyle. And when performance matters, you need gear you can trust. That's where ARD Importing comes in. ARD Importing brings world-class racing brands straight to New Zealand, supplying real racers, real teams, and real enthusiasts with proven performance products around the globe. We're talking JRP racing components, ZAMP helmets, and safety gear you can rely on the track. Red Cat Racing for high-performance RC action, and intimate brake pads for serious stopping power when it counts most. Keep your engine protected with renewable lubricants, premium oils designed for extreme performance and durability. Turn up the volume with wicked audio, delivering powerful sound whenever the road or track takes you. And gear up with Spartan products built for durability, comfort, and race day durability. Whether you're racing dirt, asphalt, or chasing lap times from home, ARD Importing has you covered. Sim racers as well, listen up, ladies and gentlemen, because ARD New Zealand is your importing source for all of Camus Racing sim gear. Precision wheels, professional grade pedals, immersive feedback that puts you right in the driver's seat. Train harder, race smarter, and feel every corner. From real-world racing to the virtual grid, ardimporting.co.New Zealand connects you with elite brands trusted.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Race 1, round 2 of the Wednesday Cup, coming here live from you on Simsational TV with myself, Zach O'Reilly, and Peter Clark in the commentary box tonight. And this is a very, very nervous man underneath that thick-skinned Gemini shell and a helmet and suit as well. Colton Atkins, first time off pole position here for this man. So, going to be very, very interesting to see how this guy goes about it tonight. He will be as nervous as a cat in a room full of rocking chairs. Hasn't been in this position for a while, but the man behind him in Astrop as well should be right there. Well, Matt Munro's into the field as well. and Benny Hines is still yet to go. So your top 4 is Atkins, Hines, Astrop, Munro, Hines, and then you've got Tommy Corks there in the livery there of the Chromage department. Back to 2004 Michael Jackson style with Jake Buttigieg there in 7th place. 8th goes to Lee Crowther. 9th for, not 8th place for Hack. 9th for Murderer. And 10th place there for Andrew Ferguson. The nerves start to get a little bit heavy here, Big Pete. And this is where you start to just get a little bit of sweat underneath the top lip there.
Yeah, it is. Sitting on the grid is always going to be the time when you ponder your thoughts. You think about what kind of start you're going to get. You think about how you're going to get a position or two at the start. You think about what could possibly transpire. You try to manifest what you want to happen into realization, but it all will end up becoming either true or false when those red lights go out.
Yeah, they will. And you've got 45 seconds left to go here between now and thinking about going for a race start. So the boys are starting to get nervous here. Got to get your predictions in the chat there, ladies and gentlemen, too, by the way. Get yourselves in on that for this race one. Who's going to take it? Is it going to be Colton Atkins from the get-go, or is it going to be the big man himself, one Fabian Fitness, who charges his way through the field here? We will find out very, very shortly indeed. But it's now time that we start to get ourselves prepped here and ready and rocking and rolling. 15 seconds left. Is it Colton Atkins? Is it going to be Astrop? Is it going to be Munro Hines? Who's going to be there? We're only yet to find out here as the lights are up. We've got 1 light ready, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the 6th light's about to go, and we are about to go racing here for round 2 in the Wednesday Cup, and it's a good start there from Colton Atkins. He's just got off the line, not as much wheel spin as he would have liked, because that he gives Astrop a beautiful half send here into turn 1. This could be interesting. 3 or 4 cars wide in the background. Munro as well fighting over that with Tommy Corks. They all get through there at a rate of knots, just very, very cautious, and Punterino and Atkins has just absolutely sent everyone. We can see the carnage, the drama, the tension is all boiled over there, and poor old, I think that would be one man, the chef involved in that too. He's got out of that one finally, but Atkins just checked everyone up into turn 1 there. Astrop was involved in that too. They finally got themselves around there, boy oh boy, in the fair dinkum department, but it is a little bit of toing and froing here going on in the background. Clint Olive's up there now too, so he's found his way through the field. Hack and Kirk are going on it side by side. Buttigieg here is now under all sorts because he's got Andrew Ferguson behind him, and in front of him is Fabian Fitness, who somehow survived all that nonsense at the start there too. Keep going on racing here though, because it's just getting a little bit hairy. Now these boys are thinking about what they can do, because the field has just started to spread out a little bit. A little bit of toing and froing going on here. Doc Elliott's on the slide in the background. Clint Olive's trying to get back up underneath him too. Through the chicane we go. Look at the cars just darting left and right and upside down there as well. Boy oh boy, McFadden's in thinking this as well. He's looking at these boys in front thinking, how can I get this position going? Swerve it to the outside, show the nose here on Lee James there as well in the Pinkmobile, but he can't get the job done through the chicane. Flick it right here, then hang it tight on the outside, flick it left again, come through, go for that racing line, and then send it out the other side. Great stuff, but it is this man who has come out in front and led this lap and the race so far out of lap 1, clean as a whistle by 1.2 seconds, Colton Atkins. That is a domination session already here, Pete.
It absolutely is. It's a dream first lap for Colton Atkins. He is currently unchallenged for the lead of the race. That's 2 laps in a row now, actually, that he's overcooked to the first corner a little bit. There is a bit of a saying that goes around for this circuit that no one's really happy with the designer of this track, mainly turn 1. It is an absolute evil corner to try and get right. And you can see that our race leader not able to get it right in the first 2 laps, locking it up and running a little bit deeper. But currently looking at Jake Buttigieg there, who's currently sitting inside the top 10, and Willie Kirk now is on the fringes of getting inside the top 10. He has to dispatch the Hackster, though, to be able to get inside that top 10 paying position in his nice, brightly coloured car. 2 brightly coloured cars, actually, in the circuit. Very, very well easy to get spotted. And the lead now well exceeding the 1 second marker. The gap between... Oh, that's a big slide from Hack there. And he will get now dispatched by Willie Kirk. And that is that top 10 position now gained for Will there. And that is as easy as you get, really.
Yeah, it really is. That was good. That was his free kick that he wanted so far for the captain. So he's on fire here. Now it's a little bit of toing and froing here in the background between Elliott and Olive too. Olive's just trying to get on the arse end of him and maybe take that position off him if you possibly can. But Clint is in the full cork in the bottle situation here. He will be as nervous as a cat in a room full of rocking chairs. I can give you the hot tip. There was Lee James gone. That's Jason McFadden who's gone through. Lee James is all sideways on the exit there as well. So very, very poor design there for Lee James. He's lost 3 or 4 positions in a corner, and everyone else has paid dividends and said, thank you, mother, for the rabbits. I'll have that one. So it's Jason McFadden now in 14th. He's got to get himself inside that top 10. He gets some money on that board there if he gets himself up there from Brian, in fact, as well. So it'll be interesting to see what he does for the rest of this race in Jason's department. But it is now Jake Buttigieg, one of the quick drivers throughout this whole Wednesday Cup scenario. We see him in about 5 or 6 of the last seasons, and he's been up at the pointy end, still sitting here in 8th place. He's got a quick customer in front of him, a Fabian Fitness, mind you. So something to think about here for him. But boy, oh boy, in the fair dinkum department, he's going for it, and he will just try to sit on the back end of Fabs and go for a little bit of an education session as we look at that closing speed there from the big man. That was cool. That looked a little bit spicier than what he probably thought was going to happen too, mind you. So a little bit interesting there. Oh, there's Fabian gone. Fabian's lost it wide, and that gives up Jake Buttigieg the beautiful opportunity to sweep around the outside as he does. Thank you very much. Fabian's going to try and fight him back, though. The lead has changed up the front here, though, because Astrop has got past Colton Atkins. That is a change for the lead position here. So now Johnny is in front. Purple sector 2 there. So he is on the charge and the prowl here tonight. Boy, oh boy, in the fair dinkum department. Let's go back to this one as well, because it's heating up in between 2 customers here. Fabian Fitness versus Jake Buttigieg. Fabian up the inside, though. Thinks about it again. Just nearly sideswipes to Buttigieg's car. That's inviting Fergo into this one too, because they're all fighting to at the nail here, Pete. This is getting spicy.
It is getting very spicy indeed, and these 3 battling it out is only going to lose them time to the cars in front. They would really want to be trying to catch up the top 6 and see if they can't further their positions so far in this race. But it looks like it's now Jake's turn now to make a small mistake, running a little bit wider than he probably wanted going through Hotel, and that's going to give Fabian Fitness a little bit of a run onto the back of that Air Malta racing car, and you can see the closing speeds into the braking zone. It looks like he's much happier with the mid-corner grip of his Gemini, and he's able to close right up to the back, almost read the part number of that rear wing, and he is going to be able to try and see if he can't shape up an overtake here, but he has to be careful because we're now heading back up towards a area that cost him the position just before. We're at turn 7 now, and up next is that chicane where he made that crucial mistake.
Yeah, he's under the pump here now, but he'll make amends, and look at that, just that confidence through the chicane there. Fabian had nothing to answer for. I can give you the hot tip. It was ridiculous there from the big man. He was 100% committed, was Buttigieg, and that's just going to give him a little bit of a breathing space here now between here and the rest of the session. 9 minutes to go and change left in this one out of the 15 race so far. So this is good. This is really cool stuff from this man. He's going through and charging it through. Astrop has just gone skis. Corks has got past Colton Atkins there as well too in the meantime for P2. So Atkins is falling down the grid, and that means he's falling into the clutches of this man, Mr. Matthew Munro. So it's going to be interesting to see what this guy can do. Can he get the charge on Colton Atkins? Turn 1 is a heavy braking zone. Down into second gear we go. Fight it out the other side there, and then just keep going around. I'm not sure what's going on with the internet. That's Colton gone. See you later. He is oversteered and punted himself out of this one. Oh, too ambitious there, Colton, for your own skill set, and he's just lost it out into the bunda. He'll go drop down like a sack of spuds there into 9th place. Captain Kirk's probably going to have a good run at him too, and he does so. Does the captain. His tyres will be very, very cold there. He's got to be careful. Sweep it around the outside as he does as the captain. Now, Atkins, his night has just gone from bad to worse early on. Can he redeem himself in race 2 and 3 coming our way very shortly? But this battle is just heating up again, Pete. Buttigieg versus Fitness. Boy, oh boy.
Yeah, it's a real clash of titans here. You got a champion and you've got a very quick customer as well, trying to battle it out for P6 and P7 here. For Colton Atkins, though, I reckon it was a mistake that probably cost him the lead, and because when we cut back to the lead change, he was off into the grass trying to gather it back up. So I reckon it's been a string of mistakes, possibly overdriving the car to try and make amends. And there's a car off in the background running it really wide on the corner exit, but gathers himself back up and has now found himself back onto the circuit, and that was Brandon Hack going for a bit of a lawnmower session in his Gemini. Not exactly what the car is intended for, but you do you, son. And we'll keep moving on with this race as John Ostrop, he's really put the hammer down now. Fastest lap of the race, he's into the 28s on race pace. It's a 28.3.
Gee, he's going quick there. That's qualifying time there, ladies and gentlemen, for Astrop. So he's got that thing dialed in at the moment. Tell you what, Brendan Hack's got the grip.exe going on too. So he's now having to defend here at the moment from Andre Elliott, who's coming at him at a rate of knots. And around the outside goes Doc Elliott. Holy mackerel, that was a beautiful move there. Sending the century here tonight. That's the move of the night so far for Doc Elliott. rallied into turn 1. Trailer Park girled him, did he, on that Brendan Hack there. Beautiful, beautiful racing. Just love seeing how that man goes about it. And it's still happening here, though, because these two are just not letting go of each other. They're like magnets, is Fabian Fitness and Jake Buttigieg tonight. They're not close to the lead, but they're fighting it like they are in the lead of this race. Look at Fabian's closing speed. We're just right on board with him and see what he can muster up through the tight sweeping right-hander onto the back straight we go. And this is incredible. We've just got a little bit of a chicane coming our way. Flick it in. This is where Jake's been strong. You can just see the commitment and the speed there. See you later, Alligator, as well. I'm sorry about the internet connection here. That's Fabian off again. Every time I say that incident happens. Doesn't matter if you spin it off Atkins style or go into the Bunda Fabian, but it hasn't hurt him too much on the straight line speed there. He'll just be a little bit tardy coming into this corner. Flicks it to the left there as well. Comes out the other side and thinks about it once again. This is good stuff. Loving it at the moment. Far out is Fabian Fitness putting on a show, but on the two wheels as well there. Buttigieg, Fabian Fitness still flying along, and we've just got to get off him because it's all happening up and down the field here. Look at this. We've got McFadden there. He's about to do a job on Olaf, and he does so. Olaf just went too wide into the sand. Now he's got Brendan Hack in front of him to make amends, Pete.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a nice move from McFadden. Very opportunistic to be able to see the mistake from Olaf and say that I'll take that position, and he will be punished for that mistake, will Clint Olaf. And so he's going to have to clean off the tyres a bit, trying to get the temperature back into him and see if he can't mount an attack to get that position back. But next on the hit list for Jason McFadden here is Brendan Hack, as we've now got Ward tumbling down the order. What has happened to Ward here? And he is in the gravel and has now DNF'd from the session. Back to the pit lane he goes. And so it's been a terrible race one for Grey Ward here, and he will not score anything for this race one here. But the battle, look at the gap here between Fitness and Buttigieg now. It is absolutely nothing. You're going to nearly need to get the gauge reader out soon to figure out what is that gap between the cars, because it's just absolutely nothing.
It's nothing. It's been going between 2 and 3 tenths, and it's been good racing because I reckon they're talking to each other and just go, keep pressing on, because the Lyrical Gangster in front of him there, he's 100% looking for a good old move and a tussle. He's just trying to find it for his life here to keep 5th place, but he's got 2 quick customers approaching him at a rate of knots, and he's only got 4.5 minutes to defend himself. Buttigieg's within half a second of him. Fitness is with half a second of Buttigieg, so now they're all flying for it. Johnny Astrop has just done a 28.2, ladies and gentlemen, in race trim. He's flying out there, and he's just blitzed Tommy Corks there by a second over his overall lap time there. That's why the gap is 3.4 seconds for the lead of this race. But these guys are put on the show here. That's Murata at the moment. He's getting a little bit frosty and just too deep into turn 1. That's going to give the overlap. Thank you very much to Jake Buttigieg, he says, but Fabian's going to give him a good old tussle too now. Has the Lyrical Gangster lost 2 positions in one turn? He has, in fact. Goodness gracious me. Lyrical Gangster. Oh, Buttigieg and Fitness come together too. That was close. They've nudged each other. They've been close together. Murata nearly flicks the arse end of Fabian too as well. This is cracking. Fitness has got the headlights ablaze there. He's trying to get on the back end of Buttigieg and send it up the inside. This is the last 3.5 minutes of the race, and now it's starting to get to sheep station territory here. Buttigieg fighting for his life. Fitness trying to get some points on the board there and keep his championship lead somehow intact here at the moment. Goodness gracious me, it's just on like Donkey Kong here through this session. Fantastic racing. Loving watching this.
Yeah, I'm loving it as well. This is a tussle for the ages, and I'm hoping the racing for race 2 and race 3 is just as good. But Fabian Fitness here, he's got a bit of a run. Is he going to dare send it down the inside? He does. Is there enough room, though? He gets given the space by Buttigieg, but now Buttigieg is slow on the apex, and that's going to allow Fitness to try and get a run. And it looks like he's been given a whack from the behind as he tries to gather his car up, and that would have been from Murata there just behind him. But look at this. He's trying to set up the move. He's trying to get the power down nice and early, and now he can try and use a little bit of a slipstream and see if he can't get himself down into turn 1. But I reckon Jake Buttigieg is going to be definitely on the defense here. You can see nowhere near the racing line. Who's going to be later on the brakes? They're side by side as they head into the first corner. He tries to hang out around the outside. There's a touch, and that's Buttigieg who goes around. He's going around for a spin. He's going to lose a ton of positions here, and he will drop down from 5th position all the way down to the tail end of the top 10. I am sure there's going to be words about that one.
Yeah, the stewards have something to say about that in this race. Unfortunately, they've come together. It was brewing there between Fitness and Buttigieg, but now Fitness is under a little bit of pressure here in terms of his driving standards, but a bit of clean air in front of him will release that at the same time. So 2 minutes to go here in this race, and the story of the night just there on your screens, ladies and gentlemen, live. Buttigieg versus Fitness approached to death and someone had to come out the loser and someone had to come the winner, and that was unfortunately the loser side for Jake Buttigieg. Dead set mare for him. But speaking of this is McFadden. He's inside the top 15 now, and he's got William Morris in front of him. So it's New Zealand versus Scotland here, fighting over it in the last minute and 42 seconds of this race. Still got 2 more to go, mind you, ladies and gentlemen, out there as well. So stick around for those, because it's just going to get absolutely off its chops here, I'm telling you. But Fabian Fitness still gets his 5th place. Jason McFadden here within 2 tenths and looking for a bit of a move and ascend there on William Wallace. Astrop's just crossed the line now, with only, 2 seconds left over the clock, I think, before the lap time counter ticks it off. So this could be the final one for everyone on the track here at the moment. Jason's time to go for it. Just sends it on the outside. Couldn't get it to. Did enough there on Wallace. He'll fight it out now. We'll go try the park girl move around the outside on him. We'll find out very shortly. He's not far enough up the inside, I will think, to make a move into turn 1 here, but of gallant effort as well. The Lyrical Gangster in 7th place here is not getting closer to Fergo. Fergo's going to get a P6 here, I would say, barring an absolute disaster here for this one. The rest of the field's pretty spread out by a good 6 or 7 tenths on average there as well, but it has been Johnny Astrop who has taken this one by storm here at this stage, and he is really flown away. 4 seconds over Tommy Corks, who is also under pressure here, Pete. Well, Matt Munro with 33 seconds left to go in this race. Astrop's in the 2nd sector, just about the final as he's done and what he's doing there. But can Matt Munro get himself up here at the dying stages?
If there's another lap, there's definitely a good shout, but with only a couple of corners left in this one to go, he's probably short of overtaking opportunities to round out this one. 13 seconds left on the clock. It's going to be pretty tight if Ostrop can make it to the finish line. At this rate, it's going to be extremely tight. Is he going to back it off and just try not to get the extra lap in? But it looks like he's actually going to cross the start-finish line, and he will continue on for another lap. So, ladies and gentlemen, we've got one more lap of racing. He crosses the line with about 2 seconds to spare, and so that is in favour of Matt Munro now. He's got the lights flashing to try and distract Tommy Corks into the tricky braking zone, and you can see they're running a little bit wide, so maybe the tactics are starting to come into play, but Matt Munro needs to get himself much closer if he wants to try and get a move done to get this 2nd place.
Yeah, he does, and look at this though. Jake Buttigieg has just been overtaken by Andre Elliott, who has just come to his own here in this race, finding a bit of grip and love here for these Jebediahs is Doc Elliott. Don't forget about him. Oh, he's just sent it on the outside though. That's going to give Jake another free kick up the inside too for the last lap of the race, and the overlap's there, but it's a right-hander, so Doc Elliott's going to sweep underneath again and say, I'll have that one, thank you very much, and go for it once more. Geez Louise, it's good changing positions here, toing and froing. Matt Munro's not going to get close enough to P2 to take that one off Tommy Corks, but it is Doc Elliott here charging through the field. Started in about 15th place and finds himself in 9th. This is a good little fight back here from Dr. Dre. He's loving life, but Jake Buttigieg's not letting him forget about it though. He's got to keep on his toes and keep driving in his mirrors here for the final portion of this circuit, but we've got to give a big congratulations here to this man, because he has just taken command and taken opportunity where it was to get the lead of the race and then command and send it away by 5 seconds or thereabouts over the man behind him, Tommy Corks. But that's Johnny Astrop. That is P1. That is race 1 done here for him. Checkered flag his way. Fat lady singing away. Tommy Corks gets 2nd. Matt Munro comes across the line, a 2nd behind him, ultimately in 3rd place. The Birdman comes across the line for 4th place. 5th goes to Fabian Fitness. A good effort from him, bar some controversy there. Ferguson, 6th place, only by half a second off Desmerada in the end. Captain Kirk gets 8th place for the SDT livery there for him. Doc Elliott, 9th. Very good drive from him, and rounding out the top 10 is Jake Buttigieg, Pete.
Yeah, exactly. It's he could have gone much higher, but I'm sure a P10 is not a bad recovery at all. A couple of mistakes in there that he'll probably want to iron out. But looking further down the field, you've got Brendan Hack in 11th, and it's Clint Olaf, Wallace in 13th position, and then it's McFadden in 14th, and then you have got Lee James, and then it is the other Buttigieg. It's the older Buttigieg. It is Paul Buttigieg in P16, and then it is not Liam Lawson, but Keen Lawson, and then you've got the cheese board of Marzella in 18th position, the haircut of Brody Barber in 19th position, and Simmons will be rounding out the top 20 in this race, but the win goes to John Ostrop here in race 1, and he will be starting a little bit further down the field with reverse grid coming up soon.
Yeah, he'll be starting in 8th place there with the big man, so he's just got a little bit more of a grid to filter through if he's going to take the win here, and we'll see what can happen for Johnny Astrop. The super chats have come through. Bang goes Tomato Sport there in Tom Marzella for the $3 super chat. Thank you. Fabs with a dive bomb for the 20 from Gray Ward. Goodness me, that's a huge donation. Thank you very much. Goodness me, he's all talking smack in the chat there as well. But no smack talking here, just showing us how it's all done. Was Johnny Astrop commanded that race, said thank you mother for the rabbits, and took that P1 by his storm. And 4.2 seconds in the end was the gap between himself and Tommy Corks for that. And that is exactly why we love to see this happen in Wednesday Cup. A quick customer debutant last round, round 2, already picks up his first win. Not a bad place to be. And if you are enjoying the stream so far, you're in for a hell of a lot more coming your way, ladies and gentlemen, because we will be back here at Simsational TV for a race 2 of the Wednesday Cup coming your way. Get those condiments refilled, get yourself strapped into the armchair, and just think about your life there and what it would be like if you weren't racing here at the moment, and if it could be a good one. Sending yourself out there in the force feedback department of the virtual sim racing world, if you don't mind. But we'll be back after a few words from our sponsors here at Simsational TV. Don't you go anywhere.
Motto is that safe drivers are lifesavers. If your organisation shares this belief and are planning to improve driver education in your community, SDT Simulator Driver Training has the solution. Many of our simulator users are also gaining a revenue stream by taking their simulators to events and schools for driver education programs. The system can also be set up to run motorsport simulation. Many leading racing drivers are now using simulators to improve their skills. Such software can also be used to show drivers they are not as skilled as they think they are. SDT Simulator Driver Training is a division of Safe Drive Training, one of Asia Pacific's leading driver training providers. We offer affordable driving simulators that are assembled in our Brisbane head office. SDT simulators are now in use across Australia and are expanding into international markets due to their affordable price, unique features, and customization for driver training. Depending on the simulator model being purchased, you will receive a range of training resources to help you to facilitate quality driver education. SDT is the exclusive distributor of Fatal Vision alcohol impairment goggles, marijuana simulation goggles, and drowsy and distracted blinking goggles. All are used to demonstrate the dangers of such impairments on the driver. Also available are driver training posters, driving handbooks, and distracted driving resources. Our simulators make the perfect training tool for drivers to experience how various impairments affect their performance. Contact Simulator Driver Training for more information. Motto is that safe drivers are lifesavers. If your organisation shares this belief and are planning to improve driver education in your community, SDT Simulator Driver Training has the solution. Many of our simulator users are also gaining a revenue stream by taking their simulators to events and schools for driver education programs. The system can also be set up to run motorsport simulation. Many leading racing drivers are now using simulators to improve their skills. Such software can also be used to show drivers they are not as skilled as they think they are. SDT Simulator Driver Training is a division of Safe Drive Training, one of Asia Pacific's leading driver training providers. We offer affordable driving simulators that are assembled in our Brisbane head office. SDT simulators are now in use across Australia and are expanding into international markets due to their affordable price, unique features, and customization for driver training.
What a race that was in race 1. It was absolutely thrilling from start to finish. Ultimately, though, it was John Ostrop who managed to take advantage of a possible mistake from the race leader at the time and be able to storm away to win by over 4 seconds, which is absolutely insane, especially around such a circuit, and now finds himself lining up in 8th position with the reverse grid for race 2. If race 2 is anything to go by from the first one, we are in for an absolute treat, and I cannot wait to get started.
Neither can I. Captain Kirk, he's starting off the front row of P1 because he was in 8th for the last one. So reverse top 8. Here's your grid, ladies and gentlemen. Lyrical Gangster there in 2nd place. 3rd goes to Andrew Ferguson. Fabian gets 4th. Controversially, Lee Crowther in 5th place as well. Matt Munro comes through in 6th place. He'll start there. 7th place for Tommy Corks, our race winner. Johnny Astrop gets an 8th place for him. 9th goes to Doc Elliott. 10th for Jake Buttigieg, so he's not too far away from the quick customers. Hopefully some straight lining monkey see, monkey do action can be happening for him. 11th is Hack, 12th for Olive, 13th for Wallace, 14th for McFadden, and Lee James rounds out the top 15 with less than a minute odd to go here on the grand scheme of things. That is Captain Kirk. Can he get himself back into it, Pete, and go for it for this one? Because we've only got 13 seconds before the lights are about to go out. It's race 2 here, ladies and gentlemen. Peter Clark's going to take it for the first lap here. Let's rock and roll, ladies and gentlemen.
It is going to be a exciting one for sure as we get ready for the start of this one, and we are away for race 2 here, and it is a pretty good start for Willie Kirk here in the blue machine, but is he going to be able to hold on to the race lead heading into turn 1? We saw disaster here in the first race. Is everyone going to be able to get through here cleanly? So far so good. They're 3 wide behind though, so it is absolutely tit for tat here at the moment here in this opening lap, and look at them still trying to go 3 and 4 wide in some areas as well. There is no space for error heading through the first couple of corners, but it is still Willie Kirk out in front and has actually managed to get himself a 1-second lead ahead of Desmerada. So he's absolutely had a storm of a lead, and it's a little bit of copy and paste from what we saw in race 1 as well, with the leader absolutely belting out one in the opening lap, but he has to be careful because he can very easily overcook it with the cold tyres here at the moment. Up and down the field though, you've got Jake Buttigieg here, who had a really good race until the incident down at turn 1 late on, and he will now be wanting to try and get some redemption, starting a little bit further down, but in 9th position at the moment, and is looking to try and get the position away from the Andre Elliott at the moment, who we saw was actually a hard charger through the field in race 1, but now on board with Ferguson to try and round out this lap here. And you can see that Fabian Fitness actually getting on the grass there a little bit, and lucky to not loop it around as he tried to get onto the power with the direction change as well.
Yeah, look at a pretty good opening lap here from everyone in sundry. No big carnage, no loss of life, so to speak, on the track limits to Palmer. But look at Fabian Fitness now, having a good old look around the outside here of Desmerada. They're the Lyrical Gangsters on the defence, but I think Fabian's going to draw up beside him here and just maybe say, thank you, mother, for the rabbits into the braking zone. 2 by 2 into here. He's a bit dicey. Fabian's just opted for the outside, but he's let Murata go and just said, thank you very much. I'll just keep that position for now and go for the switchback underneath him, which he does. Beautiful, beautiful bit of momentum there for Fabian Fitness. Says thank you and skips away on the exit. Murata still had to settle for 3rd, but for how long? Because Fergo's coming behind him as well. Very, very close up indeed, and going around the outside too here. So we're just saying M&M's, and there's a massive incident. Matt Munro and Lee Crowther have come together, and that is dead set poor. Crowther's just punted himself back into the circuit as well. There's going to be some stewards incoming our way. Oh no! Massive incident there for Paul Buttigieg too. He just got pit manoeuvred straight into Lee Crowther's front end, and boy oh boy, it's all happening. Fitness has also come off pretty badly here too, so he's fallen down the grid at this rate of knots as well. They all got through lap 1 pretty cleanly. Lap 2 not so much here. It's just stewards reporting up and down the field, probably a bit of effing and jeffing as well in the old chat for the boys too, but it is still Captain Kirk leading this one. Hackster and William Wallace have traded places there. Wallace just skipped around him, so another little bit of toing and throwing there as well. They're all starting to clear their heads here, Pete. That was a bit dicey. Moments of brilliance, moments of disaster.
That was a very dicey indeed. We're very lucky that it didn't turn into anything much more major, but that was one for the replay cams, one for the highlights reel on the socials later on for sure, as the lap times now come flying in, as everyone's starting to get themselves into a rhythm here, especially out in front. They have been able to avoid all of the drama further behind in the field, and you've kind of got a bit of a train here from its 2nd position down to about 8th, with Fabian Fitness actually in 7th that he is rounding out this train of cars. So the pace is on. We've got a bit of a pace train happening, but it is still Willie Kirk out in front by 1.5 seconds, so he's still charging away from the rest of this field, and these guys will be wanting to try and possibly start using each other, work together, and see if they can't get themselves back to the front with Willie Kirk there, but they're not going to be able to do that if they're going to start showing the noses through a couple of these very dicey corners of this circuit.
Yeah, and it's been a little bit of a double entendre for some corners here for these drivers. They get it right at some and then really get it wrong at the others, and that's where their pace difference is. And it's Doc Elliott who's just so confident. Oh, look at that in front. Fergo's also had a mare too, so that's going to give Tommy Corks a perfect invitation up the inside down the back straightaway. So he's going to get P3 here is Corks off Fergo, who was on for a podium, and here comes Doc Elliott too, having half a look. Fergo and him have gone fly by side in Corks. Geez Louise, Fergo aggression and loses it on the exit there too for now. It's side by side again. Tom's on the wrong side of the circuit. Fergo's getting involved. Doc Elliott's thinking about it too. So now there's 4 or 5 cars involved here over P3. And look at them just straight trade. Oh no, Buddy Gig's been turned around by Fabian Fitness again. Holy mackerel, 2 out of 2 here tonight. This is not good. Fitness is just going to redress that position. A little bit of a Costantina effect there for these boys as well. And that's just given these 3 a good old free kick with Corks and Fergo still fighting for P3 and 4 as well. Goodness me, Doc Elliott's just watching and hoping that the old crumbs come together and just licks it up like a dirty old Labrador sitting at the dinner table. Goodness me, it's happening up and down the field. This is a good one. This is also a good one because the cheese board now is a full cork in the bottle situation with all of those 6 cars coming behind Pete.
Yeah, exactly. He's got a lot of really fast cars behind him as well after they've had their early incidents. And most notably, you've got Cook right behind, and then it's Buttigieg as well, and then you'll find Fabian Fitness as well in this train as well. But don't count out Ezra Simmons in 14th position. He finds himself in the train as well. He is a quick customer in these vehicles as well, but this is going to be really dicey. You can see cars trying to find where the air is. They're trying to find where they can try and find an edge over there, the fellow competitors in this series so far. And through the chicane, looks like they've all managed to get through there pretty cleanly as well. And the run that was being able there to get done by Cook there to try and catch up to the back of Marzella was a pretty good run there. And behind, that was a position change. Fitness now ahead of Lee James, and that's a position change for P12.
Yeah, it was. So good little move there from Fabian. Just got the old jumperino out of the fast right-hander onto the back straight. So he's into P12, fighting his way back through. Buttigeg's in front of him again, who's also gone wide as Jakey too, but he's got the old slow in fast out method down pat, so it didn't hurt him too much. And now Cook is under threat here from Jake Buttigieg. Down the front straight away we go. And it could be interesting. He started to the left-hand side of the circuit here, just looking for a half move up the inside in the turn 1 braking zone. Can't get that job done. All dancy on the rear there, but Cook made a mare of it too. And nearly punterinoed was him in the back end from Jake Buttigieg too, who's on the slide out of exit of turn 2. A fast sweeping right-hander on the exit. Very hard to get the power down out of there, and these boys are doing a great job, but it is Chef now under all sorts. Gordon Ramsay will be absolutely going at him, torching him left, right and centre, getting those covers out there to the guys in Hell's Kitchen as well. Sam Dooley's had a mare in the background. Unfortunately, there is BNF this one as well, but look at Buttigieg up the inside, confident on the Chef, and so is Fabian Fitness looking for a move there too. The Chef's run wide there. He's gone for the inside run here into the little hairpin right-hander, but Fitness has just sailed around the outside here. Full Scandia. See you later, Sydney to Hobart, Fabian Fitness. That is a cracking move, and that would be Lee James as well trying to get involved in this one. So we're all looking for a bit of free real estate here at this stage early on in this stanza. We've got 8.5 minutes to go, and now they're fighting over P13, 14 and 15 here like it's an absolute real estate frenzy at an auction on a Saturday.
Yeah, absolutely. And with every time these guys try and make an overtake, they're only going to lose a little bit of time as well. So they've got to try and keep it clean and make sure that when they make an overtake in this pack, they make it stand. They make it very, very well done, and that they can lose a minimal time. But now taking a look back up towards the front, you've got Tommy currently sitting in 4th position. He is also not a cork in the bottle, but he has got a small train starting to form behind him with Andre Elliott and Wallace as well right behind him. And it's Colton Adkins who just drops in a fastest lap of the race, 29.3. So we're back into the qualifying spec lap times here in race 2 as well. So the pace is absolutely turned up to 110% in this race so far, and this battle pack I don't think is ending anytime soon.
No, it's not. You can see there that Ezra Simons is under threat from his Kiwi compatriot Jason McFadden as well, who's looking for another one. 14th for Jason, the last one. He's in 15th and hunting down that 14th again. In front of him is Simon. So this is over the rear wing of Simon's car. You can just see the car behaviour there between them all, just sort of darting around left, right and centre. It's interesting to see how they go racing and go between the two of them, but it's on here between Corks and Ferguson for the P3s, and it's all over for Tommy Corks there. Into P3 he goes, gets it up the inside there of the chicane. Fergo's going to have to lick his wounds here and try to go for a switch back out the other side, but he can't get that job done. And Andre Ellis just sitting in the background again, hunting and looking and hoping these boys come together, or maybe just get the old racing advantage over them too. So this could be very, very nice. Through the last corner we go, out the other side with 6 minutes and 48 seconds to go. Kirk's done a 29.0 as he crossed the start finish line versus a 29.7 versus for Murata. So the pace herder is Captain Kirk out in front with that clean air, but Corks got the job done on Fergo. Doc Elliott's in 5th place behind Fergo too, and these boys are just starting to form their way back through the field. Marzella's lost a position there too. Fabian as well, just let him through by the looks of it there into turn 1 he goes. Buttigieg's just trying to claw his way back through the field again to get up onto the rear end of Fabian. And then you've got the chef, Lee James and McFadden all coming through from P11 to 14 within about 2 seconds total on the track. You can just see it all happening there in the background as well as we go racing. But it is just what's happened here to Lawson, nothing. He's just got past big man Simons. Has had a mare too, because he's just been yeeted from 14th down to 18th. I wonder if him and McFadden came together, and that's it. But he's going for a switchback move up the inside of Clint Olive and nearly poleaxes himself into Olive, but sends himself off into the bunda, and now it's just a bit of insult to injury there for poor old Ezra Simons.
Yeah, that was as close as you want to get to having a small mistake and wiping out a fellow competitor. But Jake Buttigieg here, he didn't have a very good last lap around because he got passed by Fabian Fitness, and I think Fitness has just really found the pace once more in this car around the circuit, because in the last couple of laps has moved up a few positions to find himself now inside that top 9. And Jake just hasn't been able to carve his way through the field as quickly as possibly Fitness has been able to. But this battle here has been cooking away as well, with Tommy Corks now setting a lap time into the 28. Now that is a lap time for this race here, but this is a battle pack worth watching. Are they dare go 3 wide? One of them backs out of it. There's still a send down to the inside. Can he possibly try and get the 2 positions away from this? It's going to be an absolute godsend from Ostrop if he's able to get it done. He can't get it done, but he will net gain at 1 position out of that ordeal through the first and second corners there. But now, as his sights set on Brendan Hack, is he going to be able to make that one done? Jake Buttigieg is now finally trying to get himself past Marzella here, and is he going to be able to do it? He's got a good run, but does he dare try and make the move into these fast left-handers? He doesn't get it done. He backs out of it, and probably the smart thing to do, because these are not corners you want to be trying to show a nose. And as I say that, looks to try and go around the outside. He is looking for every part of the circuit here. A little bit of a touch up there. Marzella half spins, and it's going to be Buttigieg that actually straightens him out and lets him back through, and fair play, and we keep going racing.
Good stuff there from those guys. That was absolutely incredible. I thought Marzella was turned around there for a second from Buttigieg's point of view as well. But look, here comes the chef. He's going for it now on Jakey, who's been caught up in that nonsense. Into the chicane. That is nearly overlap. In fact, there was. But Cook just pulls out at the last minute there. Says, nah, I'm not having none of that. Jake Buttigieg survives, thank God. Here comes Lee James for a good old look in the Pinkmobile as well. But can't get that job done on the chef. So they're fighting around in the last corner once again onto the front straightaway. Can Lee James get a good old run on the chef here at the moment? Can't get it done there, but now they're just fighting their way down the front straightaway. Look at this beautiful closing speed here from Lee James. He is fighting tooth and nail. In fact, he's trying to try and go around the outside here into turn 1. So is Buttigieg there in the foreground, but can't get the job done as Lee James for now. Chef defends nicely. Marzella's just lost it. He's gone off into the bunda, and that's invited Jake Buttigieg around the outside, and he said, thank you, mother, for the rabbits. I'll have that P10 off your son. Marzella just losing it a little bit there in the background, just too far wide at one corner, and it's literally just a what do they say, it's a compounding interest in the old negative department there. Once you miss one corner, you're out of rhythm for the next 2, and that has brought Chef back into it, who's coming at a rate of knots. And now Marzella is the cork in the bottle. Marzella, Cook, James, McFadden, all going for it. Atkins is trying to get himself back into this one too. Look at Lee James' aggression there, just too overzealous. McFadden nearly sideswiped him there too. This could be interesting, but for Jason McFadden, pulls it back in, and they keep going racing. Through the chicane they go. McFadden's going the old switcheroo there as well. Atkins is nearly on there. McFadden's on the slide in the background. Lee James is just driving like as if nothing's happening behind him here. He's just completely oblivious to the near carnage that happened between McFadden and Atkins. And Colton, he's on the charge back through the field here after his big dominant performance for the early stage of the race one, fighting it for P15 here in race 2.
That is exactly right, with Tommy Corks now setting another purple lap time. So he has absolutely got the pace, but still finds himself sitting in that third position and is going to be trying to get himself further up the field. As now Elliott looks like he's getting himself up into that fourth position, and has done. He's been able to dispatch Andrew Ferguson now, and that is a change for position. Elliott up into fourth position, and that would have been a very, very good move going into turn 1 and finishing it off going through turn 2 as they now head through the next left-hander of the circuit. And look at this for a battle pack. They kind of spread out a little bit, but now they are back nose to tail, bump to bumper, and banging doors, trying to get these positions. And it was another change of position with McFadden now getting himself ahead of Lee James there, and you can see using all the circuit available to him, trying to get any advantage that they can find, as well as Clinton Oliver now loses a couple of positions there, so maybe had a small off and continues to lose positions. But this battle pack is looking like it is going to get very spicy. We've only got a minute left of racing, so the leader is currently going through the final sector. He will cross the line with about 45-ish seconds to go into the race. There's a car off in front, and that's Marzella, and he's gone around, and he's in the gravel, and it looks like he's taken another car with him, and it has gone to disaster. I was just saying that it was getting really spicy, a bit dicey, and it is already turned away with still one lap of racing to go, and they're trying to go side by side still through the next few corners, and they managed to get out cleanly somehow, and the battling is just continuing up and down the field. Fitness is now trying to get himself ahead of Brendan Hack, and he's also caught up to the back of Ostrop, and they're gone! They're gone down the main straight! It's disaster for two of the top 10 drivers, and it is going to be day done here in race 2. They're going to have to try and get themselves back onto the track and see what they can do with only one lap remaining in this race. But what on earth happened there?
That was weird stuff. Maybe some internet net coding, I think, there for Brendan Hack and this man on screen, Fabian Fitness. Geez, that was poor stuff in the old racing standards department if it was happening. But this is the last lap of the race, and this man has been on a charge. We've got to give credit to Captain Kirk, who's out in the lead. We'll get to him very shortly. But I'll tell you what, this man is just sitting fastest lap after fastest lap is Tommy Corks. He's got the thing dialed in. The Lyrical Gangster's under all sorts of pressure here. This is Ice Cube versus the NWA at the moment, and it looks like he's going to have a look up the inside. Oh no, there's contact between himself and the Lyrical Gangster. They've just held on, or have they? That is going to invite Fergo straight through, and Doc Elliott, Matt Munro, in fact, that was one. Here comes Doc Elliott. He's gone through and taken P2. Tommy Corks has lost it. Johnny Estrop is going to come through and maybe get that position off them in the background, but Captain Kirk has taken the win here in race 2 by 8.5 seconds over this man, Doc Elliott, who just couldn't believe his eyes. Has lit up like dinner plates. He's come through from 4th to take 2nd place. Lyrical Gangster survived that little tap there between himself, and Corks gets 3rd. Ferguson gets 4th there in the end of it, and Tommy Corks, unfortunately for him, and the big man, who was it? It was sorry, I got completely mixed up. Murata came together. P5 for Corks is going to have to settle for that one with the reverse top 12 coming our way. Johnny Astrop will start in that place as well for 6th for the next one. Gets himself right there. William Wallace, a good result from him, 7th. 8th for Fabian Fitness in the end. Between himself and Jake Buttigieg were sort of bumper carting their way through that race. Those two compatriots. And McFadden gets himself into 10th. Hackster, 11th place, and rounding out that top 12 is the old haircut Brody Barber. And guess where he's going to start, Pete, for race 3?
On the pole position.
Dunskies, that's where he will be. Sheffo is going to be 13th. 14th for Lee James. He'll start where he finished this one. Same for everyone else. Colton Atkins involved down to 15th. Mazel is just yeeting himself off into the bunda there. Matt Munro saw all that happen in front of him, gets 17th. Keen Lawson, comes through in 18th. 19th for Ezra Simons, 20th for Bensley. And then rounding out the final 4 on the grid is Rambo Grant, Kobe Bryant, Clint Olaf and Tur Blanche, with Dooley being the early man to DNF out of it and get himself back on the track, and he will finish, actually. So the good old tussle for Sam Dooley. Doesn't matter how bad the weekend's going. That is a fighter right there. He takes a checkered flag for dead set last. But what a race there, Peto, for this man, Captain Kirk.
Absolutely. He managed to get the pole position through the reverse grid for this second one and never looked back. He got the lead, well, held the lead going into turn one, where we saw disaster in race one, and manages to pull away to a win by over 8 seconds, despite what, even though it was a little bit aided with the last lap tussle for the remaining podium places. But do not discount the fact that he managed to hold that for the entirety of that race.
He did a great job too, and he is going to have to do it the hard way. 12th place will be where he starts on the grid for the final one, the 17-minute coming our way here at Simsational TV. And for the rest of the field here tonight, it'll be their final dance around this beautiful circuit of Oschersleben. And what a place to be. What a scenario. So strap yourselves in, ladies and gentlemen. Get yourself fired up for the last time here tonight on a Wednesday at Simsational TV for this Wednesday Cup Season 20, Round 2. Get your predictions in the chat there, by the way, as well. Rubber band gang for Fabian Fitness. That must have been what happened there, Pete, between those two. The server is going nuts tonight. We apologise. We will get that fixed for next time. Hopefully the boys can get themselves in. But stick around, ladies and gentlemen. Race 3, final dance of the evening, is going to be coming your way very shortly. Don't go anywhere. Forms and expertise in getting the best gear. Simsational TV has proudly partnered up with Speed Nation. It is New Zealand's go-to destination for high-performance sim gear. They also stock the best and biggest brands in the game, from Thrustmaster, Moser Racing, Next Level Racing, Sparko, Turtle Beach, and more. And whether you're looking for the ultra-responsive racing wheels or pro-grade flight controls, immersive audio, or rock-solid cockpits, I'll tell you what, Speed Nation has got it all. They also carry other trusted names like Butt Kicker, PT Actuators, Wheel Stand Pros, Gen Ace, Spectrum in the remote control field, and also Collective Mind. So every step and part of your setup is covered, from complete racing rigs and premium flight packs. We here at Simsational TV, back in Speed Nation, to deliver the gear that takes your experience to the next level. Fast shipping, trusted brands, unbeatable quality, and I'll tell you what, Speed Nation has it all. And as a excellent gift for all of our viewers tonight and members out there of Simsational TV, and if you're trying to get into racing, go to the checkout, buy some stuff off Speed Nation, because if you buy any full price product on the website, enter the code SIMSATIONAL, that is SIMSATIONAL. Oh my God, I can't even speak. And you will get a 10% discount off your end cart price. So go in there.
10%? 10% did you say, Zachary?
I did say 10%,
Oh,
mate. I did not say
goodness.
5. I did not say 4. I said 10.
Wow.
Forms and expertise in getting the best gear. Simsational TV has proudly partnered up with Speed Nation. It is New Zealand's go-to destination for high-performance sim gear. They also stock the best and biggest brands in the game, from Thrustmaster, Moser Racing, Next Level Racing, Sparko, Turtle Beach, and more. And whether you're looking for the ultra-responsive racing wheels or pro-grade flight controls, immersive audio, or rock-solid cockpits, I'll tell you what, Speed Nation has got it all. They also carry other trusted names like Butt Kicker, PT Actuators, Wheel Stand Pros, Gen Ace, Spectrum in the remote control field, and also Collective Mind. So every step and part of your setup is covered, from complete racing rigs and premium flight packs. We here at Simsational TV, back in Speed Nation, to deliver the gear that takes your experience to the next level. Fast shipping, trusted brands, unbeatable quality, and I'll tell you what, Speed Nation has it all. And as a excellent gift for all of our viewers tonight and members out there of Simsational TV, and if you're trying to get into racing, go to the checkout, buy some stuff off Speed Nation, because if you buy any full price product on the website, enter the code SIMSATIONAL, that is SIMSATIONAL. Oh my God, I can't even speak. And you will get a 10% discount off your end cart price. So go in there.
10%? 10% did you say, Zachary?
Holy dooly. It is race 3, ladies and gentlemen. Server issues aside, the guys have done absolutely fantastically in the old racing department. Fabian Fitness came together in the end, unfortunately, with Hackster, and that would have been rubber banding, just collision-esque, and that is the man on the screen there. But don't count this man out, the haircut. He is fighting himself on pole position with a very, very feisty grid right behind him there. Minute 45 before he goes green in this one. But it's going to be interesting. Got McFadden, Hack, and Buttygeg all behind him. And so this is pressure point motors here for the Brody Barber, the old haircut there to get that one, Pete. But race 3 predictions, get yourselves in the chat there, ladies and gentlemen. Get yourself predicted in that top 3 before the end of lap 2. Predictions will win yourself a free Simsational shirt. Predictions in. Pete, what are yours?
I reckon, based off where he's starting, I reckon Jake Buttigieg is going to get his racecraft sorted and hopefully get away from Fabian Fitness a little bit in the first couple of laps and storm off to a win.
I would probably agree with you there, but can the haircut perform an absolute masterclass in how to go racing in clean air? We'll find out very, very shortly. In under a minute's time, go through the grid quickly here with those seconds. Barber, Hackster, McFadden round out your top 3 with Buttigieg, Fitness and Wallace inside the top 6. Astrop, Corks, Ferguson in 9th place, the Lyrical Gangster in 10th. Andre Elliott, who got 2nd place by some miracle in that one, in the last one, starts off 11th. And Captain Kirk, our race winner in race 2, gets himself into P12 to start the final stanza here tonight at the Wednesday Cup. Season 20. Round 2 from Oschersleben. It's been great to have you with us. If you haven't already, please give us a like and a subscribe to the channel there as well as we get set and ready to fire up for the final one. 17 minutes of racing coming your way here, ladies and gentlemen. And we are about to go here. 3 out, 4 up, 5, 6 lights. The revs are climbing. The anticipation's building. How can the haircut launch? He launches well off the start there. Gets it powered down. Just streaks it. Strips of licorice right behind that car. But here comes Hackster too. Hackster's looking for a good old move here as well. So it's nearly going to be 2 by 2 coming into turn 1. Can they survive here? Can the haircut stay in P1? No, he can't. Brendan Hack's just going to fire it through there and say thank you, mother, for the rabbits. But for how long? Because they're fighting tooth and nail there. The rest of the grid's forming through there nicely. Oh, there's Quick Baz around. That's Clint Oliver around there. Sam Bentley's involved. There goes one of the Buttigigs in Paul as well. But Brody Barber is still surviving here. He's got P1. He's just firing it the long way around into turn 3. Comes out the other side there. Hackster's up the inside now. Doc Elliott and McFadden are also fighting over it too. Fitness is involved there as well. Look at McFadden. Oh, disaster as well. Buttygig's involved in that too. There is poor old McFadden turned around the wrong way to the circuit there. Fabian's off there in the foreground in the TKR black. McFadden's had enough. He's called it quits there. Don't blame him. It's bloody nearly midnight over there in New Zealand at the moment. But it's race on here at the start. Haircut is leading for the first 2 turns of this race. Hackster in 2nd place. Astrop here has fired through and said thank you. Very opportunistic from him. Doc Elliott has not come out in the best possible position, but up a couple of spots from where he started in 8th now from 11th. Good little opening stanza from him. Corks is going up the inside here, or was thinking about it on Fergo. Pulled out at the last minute too. So now we're finally approaching the opening lap here. And boy, oh boy, is it just getting very, very feisty indeed here in this one. Look at them stream through here. Ferguson's under all sorts. Combi Corks is going for it here as well. Barber leads this one, Pete. That was some drama in the opener.
Yeah, absolutely. For the future, I'm never making another prediction. My God, that went terribly. So let's ignore that on the opening lap. We've got some great battles heading down the field at the moment. You've got Simon, and he's looking to try and get a move done, but it is Marzello who's overcooked it a little bit. Is he going to be able to get the nose down underneath? You've got cars running wide behind, and it's going to be a no change of position for himself, and you've got defensive masterclasses happening further up the field. You've got Wallace trying to hold Tommy Corks behind in the very bright machine that he is in that Gemini. Is he going to get the exit though, to try and dare the nose on the inside of these left-handers? He thinks better of it, but look at the run he's able to get. He's got good closing speed here going into these next lot of corners. Is he going to be able to use any advantage of this as well? But they head into a chicane now, which is generally going to be a one-lane groove. Is he going to be able to be confident through here? Looks like Wallace might just have the better edge going through the chicane and should be able to hold off from the charge of Tommy Corks, at least for the next braking zone.
Yeah, look at that, and it's looking pretty racy up in the front here too, because Astrop is just looking all over the rear end of Brendan Hack here for this P2 position. It's P3 now for Johnny, so just sit here and wait and be patient, not let the Hackster go. There's a bit of rubber banding tonight on the server, ladies and gentlemen, so it's a little bit towier than you think here, Roman Sandals style, and at the moment it looks like Hackster's just made a little bit of an error in the exit of the final turn, gives John Astrop half a look around the outside. He's going to go to the right-hand side of the circuit down the front straight. Fergo's done the quickest lap of the race with a 30.3, but is it going to be Hackster under threat here from Astrop? No, at the moment. It's beautiful driving from the both of them. Bit of a lock break there from Brendan Hack, but he survives. Johnny Astrop's just going to try and cut it back up the inside, because here comes Fergo too. He's looking real racy here for this one. These guys are now just going at her at hammer and tong here in the background. That was pretty hairy there in the background as well. I think that was Matt Munro who was sideways there on Captain Kirk too. So it's now getting feisty here for Matt Munro. He's just trying to climb his way back through the field here after a disastrous race too for him. He's just trying to get all over Will Kirk here and go for that move. Still Captain Kirk fighting between two blue cars here of Matt Munro and himself, going very racy. Barber is still leading this race, ladies and gentlemen. That was really drifty there from Andre Elliott in front too, mind you. But the cork in the bottle here, you would probably say, here's Brendan Hack and here's Fergo's on-board view from that standpoint. Look at the closing speed there that he's got, because Astrop went a little bit wide, and now Hackster's on the defense there in the front. So it's looking pretty racy here. Haircut is just loving life. He's just going to be able to skip away the more these go. And look at the anticipation there from Fergo. Nearly gets alongside there, Johnny Astrop. He does too. Now he's got the inside run for the second last turn. Just bumping and grinding are these two as well. Astrop survives. Fergo sticks it on the inside. That was cracking racecraft from the both of them. Oh, a bit of a punterino there from Fergo in the braking zone. And again too, and he's turned around Astrop. And there he goes. Oh, disaster there for Johnny. That's given Wallace a good old tussle. And Tommy Corks through as well for 2 free kicks here, maybe 3 or 4 in the fact there for the rest of them. Fergo's just going backwards at a rate of knots, waiting for Astrop to catch up. Tommy Corks has gone involved. Murata's here too. Doc Elliott's involved. Captain Kirk's there now, but here comes Matt Munro as well. Boy, oh boy, they're all fighting for it here too, the nail style, Pete, and that is sideways there from Kirk. Wowee, 5 cars, 300 metres of circuit, all split between them.
Yeah, it is a very tight quarters at the moment, especially in this battle pack. It was a very opportunistic move that kicked this all off, and you can see we're riding on board when it all kicked off. They were, oh, is that a touch up ahead? It is. There's a car off into the gravel, and that's Murata. But there was a car going up the inside through the faster left-handers, and in the end, there was a small bit of contact that was made, resulting him off into the gravel, and he will lose touch with this battle pack now, and a ton of positions to go along with it. And you can see everyone's still trying to go side by side where they can, which compromises your racing line into these corners, and it's just slowing the whole field up, and they're losing so much time to the front runners, and they're continuing to go side by side now. It's Ferguson versus Andre Elliott, that is, and Elliott a bit slow there going through the first part of the left-right, and it is going to be in the end a change of position for Ferguson. And look at this, Matt Munro, he's all over the back of Elliott. He wants a piece of this action as well. He wants to try and take advantage of Elliott now. Put a little bit out of sequence, you might say.
Yeah, he's looking Motley Crue style for it, some piece of that action, and he's Matt Munro, so he's looking very nice indeed, and it's looking pretty tardy here for Ferguson, because look at the battle pack behind him starting to form. That is opportunistic up the inside from Dr. Dre, but now he's got to get around the outside. Does Ferg? Oh no, Matt Munro just punter him out of it. Goes Doc Elliott, and those two now are just going to fall down the grid, and unfortunately it is still a bit of a fight back for Doc Elliott, that he now has to get past the cheese board in front of him. Munro's lost a couple of positions there too for that little tap there. Redressing is good, ladies and gentlemen, but you don't want the contact in the first place. It is a little bit tardy because the server is having some issues, as you can see visually there, ladies and gentlemen, but you just got to be a bit more wary and a bit more cautious about where you are going to go overtaking and where you're not as well, with switchbacks, you name it, side by side stuff. Just a little bit more caution to the wind will be beneficial, but Marzell is just sliding that thing everywhere. Doc Elliott's having a really good look here as well, and now it's looking pretty racy here for Doc Elliott. Go through the chicane there, just on the wrong side of the track there for that, and that's given Lawson a little bit of something to think about. We haven't called this man all night, but he's finding himself on the edge of a top 10 here, with Munro coming behind him too in the slipstream. Munro's pulled out to the right-hand side of the circuit. Now he's going to look for a bit of a move up the inside, is Matt Munro, and he does so on Lawson, but they'll fight it 2 by 2 through the chicane there, and Matt Munro just again, bit of a touch, and off into the bunda he goes. Lee James, his housemate, is going to go straight past him there too. So Lee James in the 12th place, insult for injury. Barber is still leading this race, bar the timing tower having an absolute fit. He's doing great jobs here at the moment. 30.2, 30.3 is his guy behind him, and that is cracking stuff here with Brody Barber. Still leading this race, Pete, and it's been 8 minutes gone.
The time has absolutely flown by because I don't think we've had one lap so far in this race without a little bit of action, and I'm not sure if we were able to pick it up on before, but it looks like it was maybe one of the cars that we're watching battling just before going a little bit wide in that tussle and losing several positions, but on board now with watching Tommy Corks now. He's currently sitting in third. He's in the tail end of this battle for the lead. The top three separated by less than a second. It's only about half a second in the end separating your top three, so it's extremely close quarters for the race win and getting it all out sideways on the exit. These cars offer very little to absolute zero grip, and especially with how lightweight these cars are, it is going to be all about just trying to find the grip where there is grip and take advantage of it when you do get it. And it looks like we may have a chance for the lead here because this is the first time I reckon we've seen Barber have to go defensive, and he's had to go defensive through this corner, which is actually going to upset his run just a little bit because these two corners flow into each other, and then it's going to be the two right-handers now to finish off the lap, and you can see the tail end getting out for Brendan Hack, but the pace is absolutely on here, and we have got a race for the lead, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, we do, and look at the haircut, just trying to push that thing to the nth degree, going a little bit wide there on the exit of the track there on the final turn, and that's given Haircut a little bit of pressure to think about because Hax is going to try and outbrake himself into turn one and does so, but he sent it way too hard there as Brendan Hack. That's going to put him off into the bunda there. Luckily, he's just going to come out unscathed. Nearly got caught up with Tommy Corks there as well, but Hack's gone from second down to third place. Opportunistic move, but Barber just saw him coming and just let him go for it. Just a beautiful piece of defensive driving from the Haircut, but now Tommy Corks, he's thinking about that P1. He can smell it, he can lick it, he's just got to taste it now. Pizza delivery style at the end of the pizza delivery driver style at the end of this stint. Can he get that lead taken into his hands and just feed for that off the Haircut? But the Haircut's doing a great job out in front. Now Hax is going to try and reset himself and get back through. William Wallace is fighting up here in the top five. Good job from him. Cleared out of all the nonsense has William, and doing it for Scotland here so far in fourth place. Captain Kirk behind him has also come through to rate of knots too. Starting from 12th, he's now in 5th place is the captain, and he's got a really good opportunity here now to get up alongside William Wallace, and thank you very much, he says, for that position. So Kirk now into 4th place, easy as you like. Kirk is just going to get himself into this position and watch it go for it, because this is all on like Donkey Kong here at the front. Barber just survived there for 1 minute. Haxter's got through. Corks has come out the worst of it in P3 now from P2. This is now Captain Kirk's time to think about how he can go about it. William Wallace also wants to get involved in this one too. So I have to ride on board here, Pete, and see what this man is looking at through the front windscreen, because boy, oh boy, that is a freight train and a half here for 4 Opel Cadets holding Geminis all down the front straightaway with 6 minutes to go.
It is, and 6 minutes is going to absolutely go flying away. And you can see there a little bit of defensive work up ahead and from Brendan Hack, that is to try and make sure Tommy Corks doesn't try and lean an attack. It was too far away to try and go for the lead. But we have got, what's this, 6 cars now trying to battle it out for the lead of this race. It's a bit of a train, battles up and down the little train. And now that is Tommy Corks trying to defend it from your race 2 winner, that is. And he's made his way beautifully through the field, starting P12. Now finds himself in a possible battle for the race win. So he is on to try and get a 2 out of 3 races here tonight, but the battle out in front is well and truly on. I reckon it was a small mistake there from Barber, and that's allowed Hack to get right up close, and it is definitely bottleneck style now in this battle pack. They're all trying to tussle for a little bit of real estate going through the chicane now. This is deadly part of the circuit. Small mistake can end the race. Behind, you can just see in the mirror, look how much time they've lost because they went through the chicane side by side. How did they manage to get through there that cleanly? They now sit 2 by 2. How is this going to play out as they head into these next couple of corners? So far, so good, but only time will tell, and they continue to go side by side, and finally, the positions are slightly settled, and it's Corks leading the way ahead of Kirk. And was that a battle? No, we've had Brendan Hack go around, and that's Barber as well. He's also caught up as well. So we have now got a massive change in the order now. Was there contact involved? We'll have to find out.
Oh, I think there was there, maybe just a little bit on the final turn, and it's been murdered straight away. There goes Barber's lead. Poor old Brendan Hack's gone down to 8th as well from fighting over P1, and that's just inherited Tommy Corks into the lead. So he's now leading this one with 4 minutes and 22 seconds to go. Captain Kirk's in second place from 12th, ladies and gentlemen. He has got a perfect opportunity here now to make it 2 out of 3 for tonight, as the captain just comes out of nowhere and says, I'll have him, and he's doing a great job. But Corks now has got some clean air in front of him, and he's thinking about it and how he can actually take this win and command it for the next 4 minutes of the race. But the haircut now from 1st down to 5th with that contact of Brendan Harkey at the final turn. He's now fighting off tooth and nail from the Lyrical Gangster right behind him now, who's also getting fired up and wants a P5 for himself just to get him back up into the average places of where he finishes most races from Desperata. But it's literally race on here. We've got Corks in the front, Captain Kirk in second place, Andrew Ferguson third place, only about 6 or 7 tenths behind Captain Kirk. Then you got Wallace, Barber, Murata here only split by 3 tenths of a second apiece. Then you got Andre Elliott a little bit further back behind them, and the battle pack there is also starting to spice up here in the mid one, because Matt Munro has got the cheese board in front of him, and a very quick customer of Astrop also trying to lick his wounds, get the band-aids on, and then just get himself healed up, because he needs to get himself inside the top 10. So does Marzella. He wants us top 10 so dearly here is this man, but Matt Munro's just giving him every bit of curry to hurry up here for the final turn of the race here at this racetrack here with 3 minutes to go in this one. It's Astrop, Munro, Marzella, all three astern here, and don't tell me it's happened here. It has at the front. Kirk has been done for the lead here, and he's got it in there. Corks is, been done for the lead. Captain Kirk's got the old P1. Thank you very much, Mother, for the rabbits into braking zone in turn 1 and 2. The Corks is going to lick his wounds here and try to fight back as best he can, but I think Captain Kirk's just going to sing away here and just say thank you, Mother, for the rabbits for P1 here, but not for long, because he's just sent it off into the bunda, giving Tommy a bit of a half lick here. They're back at the for a return serve. Goodness gracious me here, Pete. This is all cracking off for the lead, and it's cracking off for third place as well.
It is. We will have to find out to when the checkered flag falls, because I think at this stage there is no predicting what is going to happen in these dying stages. They're going to get 2 laps in to finish off this race if the timing is absolutely right. And it is going to be absolutely down to the wire. And it is currently your race 2 winner leading the way, but he has to go defensive because here comes Tommy Corks around the outside. Is he going to be able to make it stick? He will shove the nose down the inside for the next part, but backs out of it. A very smart thing to do, because we don't want more contact while battling it out for the lead. But that move has slowed them both up, because here comes Ferguson. He now finds his way into this battle as well. And so now with 2 laps to go of this race, we have a 3-car battle for the race lead, separated by about 8 tenths of a second. So absolutely nothing in it. But do not discount who's in 4th. That's Wallace. He is absolutely going to be on it. Tommy Corks looks like he tried to go for a move down the inside. Couldn't get the braking done because Willie Kirk there absolutely late on the brakes. And the battling is continuing further back with Murata now leading ahead of Andre Elliott. And he is in P6 now. This battle is nowhere near done as well. So battles up and down inside the top 10, up and down inside the entire field at the moment. You just do not know where to look.
Oh, you don't. Look at Doc Elliott's closing speed there on the exit of the left-hander. That was beautiful stuff. He's going to fight it into the chicane here. That's going to turn into a right-hander. Can Murata just stick it around the outside? He can. He's going to survive for now, but for how long? No, not long enough. Doc Elliott into P5. He goes. Thank you very much. He says he's been on fire tonight as Doc Elliott. Just when he gets some clean air, he is pretty racy. But look at this. It's happening here because Hackster's got Barber in front of him now. Lyrical Gangster's just sort of teetering on the edge. But look at Hack just losing it there and sending it out. Gonskis. But Tommy Corks here, he's just fighting tooth and nail over Captain Kirk. They have not let go of each other. It's going to be the penultimate lap that we're on right now. There'll be one more time, ladies and gentlemen, of this. Fergo's trying to defend and also trying to fight for P3 as well, because Wallace is coming at him too. But Corks is just firing at every single which way he can at Captain Kirk, trying to psych him out of any race move that he possibly thinks about. Fergo just ran a bit too wide there. I thought he was in this battle too. Captain Kirk survives. This is the last lap of the race, ladies and gentlemen. Corks is looking down the inside here into turn 1. Is he far enough alongside here to outbrake him into that little left-hander coming our way? No, he's not. Kirk just sends it in there at a rate of knots, comes out the other side beautifully. Tom Corks had to overcompensate there, which has brought Fergo back into this one as well. William Wallace is thinking about it too, so we could have a P1, 2, 3 and 4 battle done down to the wire here, Pete. We've got a half a track left here at Oschersleben, and tell you what, this is feisty stuff here. Nearly real estate auction style on a Saturday afternoon, and it's all over over P1, 2, 3, and 4.
It absolutely is. It's starting to spread out just a little bit now as they get into the really technical parts of the circuit with plenty of direction changes. But do not discount Tommy Corks here because he has had brilliant runs going through this chicane coming up next. The last few laps time. But it looks like he's a little bit too far back, so you will need a really, really good run through here. And the tail is out just a little bit. It looks like he's got a decent run, but is he just too far back to try and make a move? The gap is 0.3 of a second, and it's ever closing with the power of a little bit of slipstream. It's now only 2.5 tenths. He can't go for the move there. A good run through here. It could possibly put him for an opportunity to try and make a last dash move. Willie Kirk goes defensive. Tommy tries to switch back to the inside, but by doing that, he's let Kirk go ahead, and it looks like he's going to hold on and go from P12 to the race win. He's going to make it 2 wins out of 3 races here tonight, and it's Willie Kirk for the race win here in race 3. Corks will just miss out by 0.3 of a second into P2. Sorry, and then it's Ferguson in third, only 0.6 of a second further behind. So your top 3 separated by less than a second. And then it's Wallace, Elliott, Murata, Hack, Astrop, Marzella, and James rounding out your top 10. They were all getting pretty dicey as well. A couple of close deltas there between the lot as the rest of the field now files in to round out their races as well, with Grand there, Remo Grand in P11. Disappointing for Jake Buttigieg. I predicted him as the race winner. I am so sorry there, Jake. And then it is Keen Lawson in 13th position, and then it is the Haircut in 14th. A decent recovery as well to get himself up into 14th after a little bit of early contact.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And thanks to ARD Importing for race 3, sponsoring that one, that was something to behold. But this man has just absolutely sung it to the high heavens here as this guy. P1 in race 2, P1 in race 3 for Captain Kirk, and he's just shown the boys that, you know what, maybe a part-timer around these traps, but you got to look out for me when I'm coming, and if I've got some clean air in front of me between you and the next car in front, I will be racing. And that's exactly what Captain Kirk has done tonight. He's absolutely barnstormed his way through for it, and that man gets the driver of the day for my vote there, and a beautiful, beautiful performance for Captain Kirk. That's going to change up the championship proceedings here, ladies and gentlemen, too, as well, because Benny Hines has not been involved in this racing at all tonight, so he's going to lose that lead. Fabian Fitness versus Buttigieg, well, it's going to be up to where the penalty points come for with that one too, so that's going to be P2 and 3 fought over of it here as well, fought over that for the next one, so keep your eyes peeled for the championship standings for round 3 coming our way next Wednesday. But it has been the Captain Kirk show tonight here, taken it and said thank you very much. Colton Atkins took first blood of the evening, and unfortunately nowhere to be seen afterwards for that, but celebratory donuts into the fence he goes there for Captain Kirk. Driver of the day vote as well, and he'll be happy, I'm sure. That will give him some encouragement to come back next week and for the rest of the season, can Captain Kirk as well. But that was a cracking race. That was a cracking session there. 3 races plus qualifying. Are you not entertained, ladies and gentlemen? Don't know if you can be any more, because that was an absolute pearler tonight. That was just everything happening. Great racing to watch. Unfortunately, the old rubber banding on the server was there. Fabian is in the chat and saying it's the worst night of racing he's had in a while. Oh, yeah, unfortunately, mate, it happens to the best of us. Don't you worry about that. Don't be disheartened as well for that. Hayden Wallace in there. A few rubber banding issues, he says. Steve Warwick, just not racing tonight. Just having a good old gander. Good on you, Steve. Good to be in there. John Fergos was involved. Marshall Motorsports in there too. A lot of crashes, he said. But big, big wins for Fabian Fitness as well in terms of his super chat. Same thing to Grey Ward as well. The $20 and $3 comes from the man, the legend, the Thomas Marzella cheeseboard, Pete. But that was a great event. Give us a roundup of that one.
Look, I always love giving these races a 10 out of 10 because they absolutely deliver every single time. Just for the server issues, I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10 because it did cause a little bit of chaos around the place. But I reckon, despite the rubber banding, we were on for a cracker nonetheless. Yeah,
I would tend to agree with you there, Pete, as the old drone cam's just on the absolute P155 there for that. But that has been a sensational event, ladies and gentlemen. That's the Wednesday Cup done here on Simsational TV, live from Oschersleben. I hope you enjoyed that one. It's been great to have you all with us out there in YouTube land tonight. Thank you to our subscribers, our super chatters out there as well, and everyone in between. And naming rights sponsors ARD Importing, Speed Nation, Bilco Pack, Simulator Driver Training. Thank you as always, and a big thank you, Pete, to be in the box with me tonight and join it. It's been a fantastic event, mate. Enjoyed every bit of moments of action with you as well. But it's not over for Simsational TV this week, and give you the hot tip. We will be back on Sunday for some Gen 3 supercar action as well, so stick around for that. If you haven't, please give the video a like. Our races out there as well in the old Discord. Give the video a like as well. It goes a long way to support the channel. Just on the journey now to the 2,000 subscriber mark, and we cannot wait for that. But from myself, Zach O'Reilly, you will never be, and Peter Clark, the absolute rip snorter of a commentator he is. It's goodbye for us here at Simsational TV. It's been a Simsational TV production, ladies and gentlemen. And until next time, you know what to do. Keep it flat.